Welcome everyone to our 2022 Black History Month read-in presented by Papagayo. Um, Today's guest is poet Khan Rass Fiyaa, homegirl poet. She helps so much. So let me check it out. Here's a little bit more about her if you're not familiar. Born in the Gulf of Mexico, now residing in El Paso, Texas desert, a mother of two sons, a voice for prison reform, a mental health advocate, as well as a pleasure poet, featuring her first dream of creating unconquerable spaces for vulnerability and sensuality in the poetic world. A kingmaker, queen mentor, advocate of compassion and love. A co host of the award winning El Paso Barbed Wire Open Mic series, which airs every Monday on YouTube, as well as host of Poetry Night on the last Friday of each month at Hippie Girl Natural Products here in EP, El Chuco. She is the published author of CPR to My Dreams, an ode to 2020, and My Abyss, I Wrote Him Free, a poetic depiction of incarcerated love. She has works included in 7 anthologies, including Salute to Black Women and Salute to Black Men poetry collection, as well as Global Poets Drop the Mic anthology, Life in the Time, a BorderSenses project, which was a response to living in the pandemic. Her most recent publication is a contribution to an anthology called Feisty, which is a #1 seller on Amazon. She is love, peace, and light, pursuing abundance. But you know what? I'm going to go and let her shine her light so you guys can all experience for yourself. Let's go and welcome to the show, Poet Khan. Welcome, welcome. Great to have you.
Y'all. Oh man. First of all, Richie got to read my bio, so that's one of my poet goals. Anyway, um, thank you, thank you to the El Paso EPCC community, the literature department. I mean, words is what it's about. So, to us. So we keep that fire brewing. We keep that alive as literary bosses um, by taking up our assignment. So thank you. So I say to myself, what does Black history mean to me? It means hope. I consider, what it took to get us here. I was able to read Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" on Martin Luther King's birthday at the BWAM's open mic. I got to host that night, and reading his speech, it just really gave me a renewed sense of hope. The fact that he was, whatever struggles we are going through now are not the same struggles that got us to this point. As far as my Black people, they faced bayonets for the bassinets, literally. Blood, sweat, and tears, because they had a hope of us being in a world that was fitting of us. And so that is just, there's no words for that. I'm so grateful to be the product of Martin Luther King, Maya Angelou, Rosa Parks, all the ones that said, no, we deserve better. We want something different. We are Black brilliance. Yeah, so I carry that torch to everybody in here in the room with us today, to my beautiful friend, more than a friend. Not sure what to call you, but other than an angel, my beautiful Miss Stacy Dyson, who is the epitome of singing for Black women. She gives me the strength to just take out my assignment. with grace and pride and dignity. So, um, so I want to start off with a poem from my book, CPR to My Dreams. And this, so forgive me, this is the author copy, the original, but it is on Amazon, CPR to My Dreams. So 2020, man. Mm, yeah, I had to capture that year in a book because, I do Uber Eats now, and I do other, I go out in the world now. And I remember a time in 2020 where I was afraid to go outside. I was afraid to leave my house for the sake of my skin, for the sake of my kids. Allah, never mind COVID, you know. So I had a really rough time that year, just kind of dealing with it all, with my kids not being in school and trying to figure out how to work, how to whatever. Now I'm a single mom with 2 boys. So anyway, this is capturing the Black experience on mental health as a mother, and just period. This is called Hope. A place to spend my quiet nights, time to unwind, so much pressure in this life of mine. I cry at times. I once contemplated suicide, would have tried, but when I held that 9, all I could see was my mother's eyes. Tupac Shakur. Whatever occurs, do not let them swallow your hope whole, for they will not regurgitate it even to save their lives. Mothers, queens, teachers, wives, we live in a world that seems to only cherish our dreams once they have materialized. Last night I contemplated suicide. Behold, numerous narratives of senseless murder mysteries. No one is listening until the smoke clears. The masses are programmed with fear, crippling the divine mind, conditioned to be a victim of time. What are we to do? Be willing to die for the next generation. Why? Why do I live contemplating how I will die? What are we doing? Waiting. Waiting for what? Change. You mean the kind that jingles? No. The kind that lingers on to the next generation and thereafter. Countless deaths attempting to correct an economic disaster, countless deaths commencing massive marches, marking minuscule strides. Today, I contemplated suicide, living a catastrophe. My children will never achieve fully expressed liberty merely in their minds. Tears in a single Black mother's eyes. Where is my protection? Who comforts me? There is no redemption once you are locked down in a retaliatory system, seeking a retrial, praying to reconcile. What light is there to look towards? Finding finding my bliss in a bong. It has been too long. I must learn a new opus, build a new synopsis in the brain, something holistic to keep the people sane. Fuck this mundane living. The divine designed something extraterrestrial So much rain and thunder that we must persist through all these somber times. We offer sacrifices of the heart in the form of art to the ones that dehumanize us, in hopes that someone will give us our just span of this land. It is out of our hands. Just good press for the on watchers. Here is a love letter for the hard knockers. Strive, persevere, press to that new day, because with no hope in sight, we are hopeful. Hope is here. Where? In each other. How? By every means necessary. When? Yesterday. For 400 years, hope has conquered our fears, earned our trust. Never ever give up, even though the system gave up on us. That's my first piece called Hope. Can I share screen? Yeah.
Yes, Richard can give you the permissions. Let me see. Yeah, try it now.
Okay, can y'all see me? I mean, can y'all see it? Okay, excuse any, any, anyway, all right, so any typos and whatnot. This is dedicated to my boys, to my Black men, to my Black women, to all of us, to my boys. This was written for my boys. So I'm so grateful to share this with you guys. This is called Resilient. I am crying as I write this because I go through extremes to make things seem not like what they are. You remember when Scar killed Mufasa to save his throne, to take his throne. You remember when Scar killed Mufasa to take his throne. When they exiled Mowgli after saving his own. You remember when the coronavirus came and took school, the zoo, and our lives away. There is an enemy worse than Shere Khan on the survey, lurking. I am so scared for you. I am jerking. Racism and rage, they want to close the page on your book long before it's read. 2/5 of a human constitutionally more useful to them dead. The truth is, we will never be freely equal to our counterparts. So many of our heroes dodged the darts. Some darts did not miss. No one knows when justice for those who die by the white man's gun will come. Their promises are not worth a dime. Have you believing in a lie? The only way to be free is in your mind. You know who you are. And mommy has got to teach you how to fight with your might and will, not just your hands and steel. You got to learn how to be still. In the face of defamation, see, you've got to watch and pray. And watch your tongue, because nowhere is safe for the Black man to run or play. They will use against you every word you say. Your rights, your life, this life we live is not what our Father intended to give. An initial vision so broken we cannot mend. We are not meant to be hated by the color of our skin merely. The fight ends and begins at the epidermis. It was not designed to be punishable with more than a fine. There is kindness for humanity that does not exist within the hearts of some. From the Genesis, there is hatred for the dark-skinned ones. There is a system that we cannot overcome, but you are the resilient one. Racism, a line we cannot define, a generational pattern that invokes our dreams to scatter, families shatter under the three-strike rule. That is what it's designed to do. Bad Black kids making bad grades in school. Thugs is what they call you. There is someone out there that does not want to see you overcome, but you are the chosen one, resilient. Here is what I need you to do. Know that I will never leave you even when I'm gone. Follow love and truth. It will always right your wrongs. Educate yourself. Know your rights. Do not get caught looking at the street lights. Stay vigilant. Evil is on the prowl. Know who you are and do not forget it, especially now. Express your art like it's the last minute. Hold tight to what you love. It will carry you above this madness. Do not stay consumed with sadness too long. You got to keep pushing. Grow another limb after they cut it. Say what you have to say in a poised and confident way, then shut it. Listen to their intentions. It will help you see their motive. Nothing is for free, and no one is promoted from demoting another. Stand for your brother. Stand for one another, and y'all got each other. There is a God in you who knows what to do. Meditate and pray every day. Know when to do wrong. Strive for what is right. Shine brightly in the darkest of nights, and when the hatred comes, cover it with love. When the hatred comes, let it know you fly above. When that hatred comes, know that you are better than your counterparts. You shine light in the darkest of darks. You survive stormy weather. This is mommy's love letter, loving you forever. You are resilient, meaning you do not succumb to the pressure. My two sons, baby. Thank y'all. Oh, I needed that. Let's see, I have this is another one from my book. Called this poem is called Pursuit to Mecca. Pursuit to Mecca. I am scared. Scared. Scared, scared, scared. I feel like Seeley. I can't move. I can't move. Keeping the windows closed, the blinds shut, staying out of injustice way. I want to put my piece of equity back into the economy, honestly, terrified of being terrorized by a cop stopping me. That car has not left the shade in 3 days, stopping me with my children at their mercy, stopping me. in my pursuit to Mecca. I had forgotten I was the condemned Black, too busy mastering the new mask and glove trend. So who distracted who? What came from where? Nothing but a blank stare, just a plan to stand up for the rights that come against the non-rich and non-white. So we're out here under the street lights, rioting, striving for mere acceptance, civil rights, flashing lights, they flicker, flickering for change, death for change, death for change. The entire world is in an uproar. Daily fatality scores continue to rise, and I just want to make it home tonight. I voted not for Biden, not for Trump. I voted for this lump in my throat, for these two beating hearts having two different lineages, both having no parts of a daddy. I voted for every dark-skinned girl longing for the privileges of a light-skinned world, for every mulatto that was almost gelato enough, almost. For every freedom ghost of the past, I toast to you. On Juneteenth, my people were set free to abide in systematic captivity, not knowing what would be the outcome, just knowing it would be a bloody run. They faced bayonets for the bassinets. For this birth defect, I call my skin for good trouble, for the fuck of it, for my children, for a pilgrimage. I voted because someone died for my suffrage. Yeah, man. Black history is every part of hope. It's every part of dreaming big. It's every part of dreaming and just passion. Dreaming and not letting it go no matter what, which is how everything we have has been created. Our freedom, our privileges were created from someone dreaming of them, of us being able to do this, to do what we do. So I'm just, I'm thrilled, I'm honored, I'm blessed to be doing my part. Amen. So I'm gonna read now some pieces from My Abyss. I wrote him free. Black history. 70% of our families are not families. 70%. I'm not even sure what the percentage is of Black men that are in jail, but I mean, we all know what that's like. And or we all have an idea of what that, you know, there's Black and brown all through the prison walls. And yeah, so I'm just gonna jump into it. But this is in honor to children that have parents in jail, to the women, mothers, you know, anyone that has an incarcerated loved one. That's what my second book is for, is dedicated to. So we all know that, you know, slavery was re-implemented with the prison, and it is intentional to keep the prison a lucrative business. So regardless of the hearts that are broken behind the fathers and the brothers and the husbands that are gone from us. So this is called Poetic Justice. My dream is that one of these poems will set you free. One of these poems will help someone in power see all that you aim to be, try to be. My dream is that she will begin to see the beauty in the day again, the possibilities of tomorrow, considering annual sorrow, the fact that a missed opportunity for love is a pain never cured. Never. My dream is a system that has a reason to double check forgotten evidence before rendering 2 life sentences. Indefinitely, permanently, he is not a monster, he is my son's father. My dream is for an America whose infrastructure is not constructed to feel and keep prisons a profitable business. I want the ones who invest in prisons to spend a day in prison, hear stories that make implacable men bend, tend to a cell full of rage, 3 steps from raising hell, hell. Why not? Those eyes that arise at each sunrise are your exact punishment when facing a life sentence. I beg of you to listen to the repentance of men who claim they are innocent. What do we not gain by double checking to see if there can be a change made in the outcome? Why must prison be dark, cold, lonely, condemning, hopeless, hopeless, copeless, drug out the anus just to fucking cope? A scrape on the knee? I cannot believe I had to stoop this low to make it to another day. No way. There are a few who deserve a second chance, a second glance, a few whose claim to innocence is relevant. I want you to listen to grown men scream in agony for help, scream for their mother. Listen to those broken-hearted cries, men that just need one more chance. Prison. A win or lose decision, someone benefits off of someone else's imprisonment. Why? I dream for a day where America's greed is a seed planted in affirmative soil. Coconut oil, shea butter, sea moss, a cure for generational loss. Broken men leaving broken children with broken hearts. I dream of a day where someone thinks of the inmate, somebody, anybody, do something for the king that is left to dream of freedom. I dream of a day when your dreams come true. Yeah, man. Let me see. This is called Baby Daddy's on Lockdown. Battle wounds, lesions, scars. I would gladly take them instead. Steel bars, lonely stars. These heartbreaks break beyond season. What is the reason? Behold, I bear the thorn of being torn. He was born 3 months after your mother died. I never held you while you cried. You did not let me, yet you held me from afar. Gas in my car, fresh wigs, baby crib, bassinet. Formula, diapers, onesies in the basket, invisibly present. Thank you. Go to Walmart, there is a grand there for you. You have always been the one. I reminisce the way we kissed, it felt so personal. Your verbal affection towards me never left me longing now. Good drugs replace hugs I do not receive anymore. Hugs that hugged me back. 15-minute icebreakers for us is just not enough. You are doing time, and apparently so am I. My heart is in need of a biopsy. Disproportionate to the rest of my body, one part the past, one part now, one part believing in a chance to make amends and see where we could end. I mean, it would be clever. However, another knows my heart will only mend when I see you again. I am having trouble processing what I am feeling in a mind warp for real. In love, though you have not touched me in years, and it will be years. I am bracing myself for hope's longevity. We got that kind of love that subdues trajectory. No amount of distance or time can dismiss you from my mind. No matter what life impels you to do, you got me. And I got you. You, my baby daddy. Lord have mercy. Bring me back my man so my heart can withstand a stable systolic diastolic rate. How do I strategize a synchronized breakup and makeup? Who deserves me? My sons do. My sons deserve tangible proof. My sons deserve tangible paternal proof, a source to demo the ego after. How did I choose 2 men that would end up incarcerated? I accept my faults. My heart is doing time and we have a family, but do you deserve me? I'm sorry I did not stick it out, build some clout. Maybe that would have given you a way out. I chose to walk in the corner with the body screaming dolo. I was not willing to risk it all. You had issues and I had chronic heartbreak tissue. I want to hate you so I can let a dead dog lie and let my dream die with it. We were young. Now we are seasoned. Things happen for a reason. I cannot lie. I get mad sometimes. Then I realize we are so blessed. More than anything, I want to see good intentions prevail. Want to see both of you out of jail, free, planning parties with me. I want to see the king take his throne so my sons can cast a hopeful stare. The reassurance that daddy cares helps a little boy see that he can be who he wants to be. Benefiting the community, offering unity with respect and enthusiastic service. Society dismissed you. No telling what you go through on a daily. My desire to see you free brings me to my knees. That is all. I have been holding it down. My needs have become prioritized. I just pray your heads held high, I pray your crocodile tears are concealed because even a man cries sometimes. So cry. There comes a time when you have got to stop asking why. Better to be patient in the present. It is a present day gift to both my baby fathers on lockdown. We are counting the days now. I miss you, need you. Three minutes. You have 1 minute left. 60 seconds of love affirmations, conversation sped up by 10 milliseconds. 60 seconds of, I love you, I miss you, I need you, I love you, I miss you, I need you. Then you have 1 minute left. 60 seconds to hold on to a lifetime. 60 seconds. I did not get to bask or tell you how proud I am of you. You die 2 times, I die 2 times 2. Then you have 1 minute left. Lord have mercy. Hold on to hope, my darling. 60 seconds. 60 ticks on the clock. I will never stop loving you. I don't know how, if I could do one more or if I need to wrap it up here. Or can I do one more?
I say, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, okay. So just to give some backstory on this book, this is dedicated to my youngest son's father. He was my best friend. He is my best friend. He was my love, though. We were young. We were just kind of toying around with it, and then life happened. And he got into some injustice and got 2 life sentences. So my abyss, I wrote him free. That's this. So this is the Black experience, you know. Most of our fathers are in jail. Most of our Black men are in jail, and it is designed that way because what we could do if we were a unit. But you know, you take the source out of the home and put the mom on welfare, and there we go. So I've lived that. So that's what my story. That's what I'm sharing here. So Corona was in our prisons. You know, a lot of Corona don't. You know, that whole. Sorry, she anyway. She don't have no boundaries. You know. So anyway, last year he called me telling me he had Corona, and they were gonna put him in the hole till further notice. You know. So about a month went by, and I thought he was dead. So so that's how the book ends, is Corona setting him free. So let me read a piece from that, and then if I can do another, I will, and I'll wrap up with that. This is called Corona. So fly, be an angel if you've gotta. Take the stars and clouds, put them in your pocket and hold them. Just bring them back for me. Corona got him. I am sure Corona was the cure to an unjustified, pre-qualified, without prerequisite 2-life-term sentence. I will always be asleep at night. Why? I wrote love poems to the love of my life saying, why do I live in a world where I will never have your love? What is life without your love? I talk to forever regularly, daily, considering what life would be, being in love with a grave, memories, in love with 15-minute phone calls, just enough to say, I fucking miss you. I lived and breathed them because he was love. Corona was the cure. Narrowed 2 life sentences down to 2 gruesome years of compulsory treatment. He was innocent. Too much of a Casanova to take anybody's pussy. He loved me. Corona answered the call. I am sure he surrendered. Would rather be with his mother than in a hell called an undeserved prison cell forever. Corona gave him his wings. I just know it. Liberty. May not have found that black skin any other way. Corona, thank you. Yeah, man. So I'll finish with a last piece. First, I want to say thank y'all for just giving space to this, giving me a moment to do my thing, to be my unapologetic self. You know, shouldn't have to say that. You know, we should be our unapologetic selves all the time, right? But this is something that the Black community goes through. So when I get a chance to do me and sing for my sisters, for us, when we get a chance to come together, it really means a lot to me. And I also just want to point out El Paso is just, I really don't even know how to put y'all in words. El Paso, the way that Black and Brown come together, the way that we work together, the art that we make, the beautifulness that we make when we come together. So I'm just so fortunate to be here. I'm from Corpus Christi, Texas. That's where I'm born and raised. But El Paso gave me my artistic wings. And this will always be my second home for that. So I am a Black woman doing all I can to stand in this nomad's land. Everything the light touches is tarnished. I retreat to my closet, a walking hazard, harlot, heart beats to outshine defeat. My entire culture is proving the vulture wrong. A protest for a smile, head full of riot. Only one way to stop it now, pow, 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 steel cannot stop it. 4C Afro got gravity on its tippy toes. It's the strength in the stride of my nose. I scare the tyrant with silence. Defiant smile for the malicious, viciously sexy. Labeled a sex fiend per the price of her enjoyment. I now enjoy guilt-free. Oh, so insane, this reign of pain. I changed the climate amongst other things. Amongst other things, failed to mention I am a queen, but I am scared. I do not want to be here. American fear, white privilege. And my son says, Mommy, nowhere is safe for the Black man to run or play. 10 years old. Reality shattered. I come through with the dustpan and mop. Clean up on aisles. Stop killing / imprisoning our Black fathers so Black boys and Black daughters are presented with the same opportunity for excellence. It is evident that Black boys and Black daughters are set up to fall victim to the captivity of a fatherless reign. Oh, so insane, this reign of pain. The Black woman, intended to be the jack of all trades, the true Jew. I pop a pill or two. Every day my strength is renewed somehow. I do not know how I do it. It ain't easy being Black while Black. I pack a purse full of words, pressed down, shaken together. Verses and stanzas in my hands, I present them when necessary. I am divinely protected, my heart never neglected. Mantras from the ancestors reminding me of how these words will unfold. What I repeat is my reality, so everything is working out for me. Everything is working out for me. I lyrically expectorate joy, chisel through till I see you. If I was the one to save us, race would not be. This is CPR for my dreams. How far are we from the hospital? Black woman, demographically subjected to the sun. I am the fad you chase, the one you stare down to bear down. You dare to compare now. How does she manipulate the plane like a pilot with a protest for a smile and a head full of riot? Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much. That was awesome and powerful, and you know, so many pieces there that just one after another. PoetCon, it's really an honor to host you here today at Papagayo and on Black History Month. And on behalf of El Paso Community College, I wanted to leave you with our little token of appreciation, little certificate for being our presenter. And you're actually our first presenter for this semester.
Yay!
So yes, that was amazing. I'll let you go through some of the comments. But you know, I also want to thank Richie for being able to coordinate with you to have you here today. I do have Donna who raised her hand, so I'll let her chime in as well.
Hi, first of all, I want to just thank you guys for providing this platform. I happen to be PoetCon's cousin, and I'm in California. And I think this is great, just what you guys are doing. I appreciate your community college for having this type of platform for your students. I think it's great that you guys are doing something creatively and that can actually help everyone be expressive. So this is a great thing that you're doing. I'm very happy that, you know, I try to keep up with everything that she does to support her, but sitting in this, I wish that, I know it's for your college and community, but it could have helped so many people just hearing those words. Very powerful. And if, I know you said something about reading, but I would like to read something real quick. And I want to dedicate this to PoetCon, AKA Erica, and every other Black woman that is sitting here for Black History Month. And Erica, just know that your words are so powerful. They mean so much to so many people, regardless of color. And I want you to remember that and keep doing what you're doing. I want to keep encouraging you, as well as continue to encourage other creative people, artists, poets, as you have been doing. But I wanted to read to you guys and dedicate this poem to my cousin. It's called Phenomenal Woman by Maya Angelou. Pretty woman, wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit, a fashion model size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I am a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please. Into a man, the fellow stands or falls down to their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes and the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist and the joy in my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say, it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breast, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need for my care. Cause I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. Like I said, this was great. I just want to keep you encouraged and know that, these words, like I said, they transcend color, they transcend race, they transcend everything that is wrong with the world right now. And we need platforms like this to keep the creativity flowing amongst us. Like I said, I appreciate you guys for having this available for anyone to join. Like I said, I just hope that in the midst of you guys doing this, there's some way that you can make this more of a national thing, or maybe invite other colleges. I would definitely like to stay connected with you guys when you do these. I do sit in, like I said, on some things that she sends, but this was just great. And I appreciate you guys for, representing everyone and providing a platform for everyone. Just thank you guys.
Thank you, Donna. It's an honor to have you here. Thank you so much for reading as well that piece. Maya Angelou, and it really is something that we like to have every year. And we also welcome anyone. So it's great to have you from California. I know Gregory mentioned he's in California too. So it's really cool, that we're able to have you all from all over. I did want to have, we still are about halfway through our programming. So if there is someone else who wanted to follow up with Donna and read another piece of theirs, say a few words, we could do that. And I want to welcome those of you who just joined in, Terry, Rose, and Jennifer.
Hello, thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, Terry, how's it going? Welcome.
What's up, Bridget?
Hey, y'all. Hey, Terry. Hey, Rose Gold.
Hey.
Hey, Merman Speed. Hey, everybody.
Hey, 20.
Hey, darling, man. I just want to take a minute to thank all of you for coming to bear witness and be a part of this moment with me. And one thing I love the most about Dr. Martin Luther King's speech, "I Have a Dream," was he made a point to include our our white allies in his speech. He made a point to include everyone. He was inclusive. In the midst of 1960, forgive me if I'm wrong, it might have been a little bit before that, but just in that time, the civil rights time, to dare to dream that in the midst of the lynchings, the dogs being sicked on us, the guns, horses, just to face your enemy with love. I mean, there's a reason that he is who he is to us, because he's his level of faith and hope was childlike, in the midst of war. I mean, so it is inclusive. It is meant for our binary people, for our they them people, our gay, bisexual. It's meant for everyone, which is the point of it all. It's freedom for all of us, that we can all share in freedom side by side together. So, when we say Black, it doesn't exclude anything else. It just, you know, puts us on a pedestal for a moment. And the fact that we're constantly needing to be pedestalized, if that's a word, is just kind of a reflection of the Black experience in America. But here we are. So yeah, and we do it. And I'm so grateful for the arts community. I'm so grateful for El Paso. I don't have words. I just want to get out and do poet work and show y'all. I just want to continue. I want to be here. I want to do my part and continue to bring us together, to get us to these mics, to find us places to keep feeling hopeful. I was feeling like crap the last few days for stuff I got going on. And almost to the point I felt a little unworthy of even doing this today. But my poem, Hope, which was inspired by my beautiful poet, Grown Man Speed, my poem, Hope, renewed my hope today, you know. So, imagine what our ancestors were thinking, just, to get us to this point, the amount of dreaming, the amount of childlike dreaming in the midst of war. That's the definition of hope. So, yeah, man, I just thank you. Thank each and every one of you. Jorge, Richie, dang it, my darling. Thank y'all, man. Just thank y'all so much.
Yeah, right on. So great having you, and beautiful words of hope, right? I think that's one of the most important parts. So, again, to reiterate, oh, also, yes, so welcome everyone. If you do want to share, we are celebrating Black History Month, and so you are more than welcome to share any of your own pieces that are related, or if you want to share a tribute, there's a link here that we have from Poetry Foundation that features poetry, as well as, the poems are probably better to read, but there's also articles and podcasts that are there. And so if there's anyone else that you admire or look up to that maybe you want to share their piece, one of the things that we mentioned is, a lot of our students are learning about Black history, right? Because maybe don't have a whole lot of experience with it, and we'll have readings in our classes that start to teach them, but I think for the most part, I think a lot of people tend to think sometimes as the civil rights movement as something that happened, that was conquered, and then Obama was president and everything was great, and we know that that's not exactly how it truly is, right? Of course we can celebrate that, but I'm thinking about Black Lives Matter movement, and as a response to a lot of the racial tensions still abound, and a lot of the vitriol surrounding peaceful protests like Kaepernick and I mean, again, the Black Lives Matter movement. And so, I wanted to read one of my favorite poets is Langston Hughes. As a literature student, I feel your bookshelf would be incomplete without his work there. And of course, so many more. Maya Angelou, of course. I mean, she's like one of the best. So during the beginning of COVID and being locked in and quarantined and all of the racial tensions and the people taking to the streets, it was a very tense time, and it really reminded me of Langston Hughes' poem Harlem, which I'm sure many of you guys are familiar with. I think it's a literary classic. And when you refer to MLK Jr. And his speech about having a dream, we tend to still ask ourselves, what is the American dream? And so, of course, Harlem also kind of asks that. What happens to a dream deferred? So this is Harlem. What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? Or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat? Or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load. Or does it explode? Short and sweet, but I think encapsulates a lot of that anxiety, that tension that we did see explode in 2020. So, you know, I want to just maybe end this session. I'm not this session, but like my part, because I do want to invite you guys if you want to share any words as well. Um, I want to reiterate the hope that Poet Khan was talking about, and how we can find it in our own words, and finding it in our community, and supporting one another. That's creativity, that's strength, that's love and art. So, yes, once again, thank you, Khan, for being our guest. So once again, welcome everyone who has joined. If anyone would like to share a piece, just yeah, Stacy. Okay, I just saw. Yes. So Stacy has been featured at BWAM's in person when she came to visit, and it was such an amazing experience. It was one of the first shows that we had back in person, at Through the Looking Glass Gallery. We had a lot of poets visit us from out of town, and of course Stacy was able to be our featured poet and just got a standing ovation. So Stacy, I'm gonna let you do your thing, but I am looking forward to you becoming an El Pasoan pretty soon. So anyway, go ahead and take the mic.
Thank you, darling. I appreciate that. Erica, we'll be talking, girl, because that was all I needed for today. That's going to get me through the weekend. I'm going to read y'all one from my book, Lovely and Suffering. I keep hearing we should have that conversation. We need to have that conversation. We should open that conversation. I don't remember y'all wanting to chit chat when Emmett Till was murdered by a white woman who later recanted. It was decades too late. The damage had long been done, and her apology fell on not only deaf, but unbelieving ears. Where was all this need to hold salon when dogs, fire hoses, and Jim Crow ran free in the streets? Y'all talked about us, but you never talked with us. You made decisions based on what you would have done and how you felt, the usual father, master, your betters know best approach. Where was all this rush and haste for dialogue when the First Nations were murdered, displaced, and slandered to make stealing their birthright seem God's will? The Trail of Tears should be a scream in every history book, not just some careless, barely noted whisper. Where was all this need for wordplay when Japanese Americans lost lifetime dreams and their children because paying taxes and dying in loyalty to this place was not enough to be thought citizens of this place? Where was all the need for all this conversation when we were begging, striking, marching, bleeding to be included in the conversation? I don't think y'all get it. We have been excluded from talking for so long that now, just because you feel it's time to open a dialogue, you get mad when we don't want to talk to you. When we wanted your attention, we couldn't get it. When we are literally dying to talk about this, you don't have or need to stage manage the time. When we want to explore possibilities, you either tell us to be happy with what we have or what you would do in our place. You are not, will never be in our place. And to back up, shut up, sit down. But once it affects you, you want to converse, you want to narrative, you want to have coffee and discuss. Let me, Lord, let me calm down. Maybe not. Let me make something burningly clear. Do you understand that white solutions to Black and brown problems will get us killed? Shut your mouth. Let me say that again. White solutions to Black and brown problems will get us killed. Turn off your opinions, open your ears, get used to the idea that we have thoughts and minds and solutions of our own, a way we are forced to navigate through the world that has to be acknowledged. Why don't y'all just talk amongst yourselves while we get some work done? Talk amongst yourselves. Try solving the problems you created. Stop preaching and pacifying. We are not children and church is over. Do you live here? No? Well, here's the protocol. If you're coming to our house to learn, welcome. Take a chair, pour a beverage, mind your manners. If you're coming to instruct, insist, demand, the way too many of y'all do, if you are coming to make decisions for people with a voice and a will of their own, stay home. Lest we beat you to death with the table you think you're entitled to sit down at.
Yes, all right, awesome. um, Feel free to, yeah, show some love there in the chat. That was great. Stacy reading from Lovely and Suffering. You also have Follow Me on this. Did you have any other words you'd like to share, Stacy?
Yeah, I can throw out one more quick one. Let's see. Well, it was going to be quick and now I can't find it. Here we go. There is no running to sterilize, isolate, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands, when the AIDS virus swept through Africa and threatened to decimate an entire people. Where was all this concern for cleanliness when the Cohn family flooded the ghetto with opioids? Because that didn't become important until white people were affected. And then it became a crisis of mass proportion. You think Dare and Just Say No would have been in effect had it just been Freddie who was dead? No. Chad and Muffy had to pop, shoot, sniff before it got to be an issue. Let me tell you what. If this COVID only affected Black and brown people, you wouldn't be hearing anything about it, except for a whisper of, you see what those people bring in when you let them in. A handful of nauseatingly woke celebrities might throw us a telethon or cut a song you could play over and over and over again on Spotify. If this COVID only affected white folk, there would have been a cure in the first 2 weeks. As it is, where do you think the trailers for vaccine volunteers are popping up? Well, where do you traditionally find a guinea pig? On a wheel, in a cage, rootling happily through shit in the shavings and only occasionally biting the hand that feeds him. One of my friends posted, "Wash like you're shaking hands with the president. Girl, please." First of all, I do not acknowledge fantasy. We don't have one of those right now. If I ever did have to touch hand with the jackal currently in power, I would require a full body bleach scrub and ritual burning afterward. They don't make Clorox that strong or fire that hot. The hypocrisy of this mandate for cleanliness and care chokes me so hard, there should be fingerprints on my vocal cords. 44 million dead worldwide as of right now, 27,000 and more here in the US as of right now. How hard is this to understand? We are dying due to me first, me only, not my problem, because my grandmother is fine and my baby did not die last week. But somebody's did. Somebody's grandma died. Somebody lost their baby. How does that not hurt you? How does that not threaten to break your faith? I still have mine, my faith. But I have quarantined for the last 8 months in recognition of the fact that this is not just my problem. Imprisoned by the fact that because I am Black or brown or poor, I'm not important enough, not Republican enough, can't make any money for you enough for you to wear a mask and wash your hands. It hasn't affected you. It's just a cause to complain, whine about inconvenience, whine about a liberty and rights that are not actually being threatened. We're not important enough. We're just not important enough for you to wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands, unless you're washing them of our lives.
Yes. All right.
That last line was everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing, Stacy. I shared a link to um, Lovely and Suffering on there, but I'll drop the other one as well. Of course, we also saw that Khan dropped her link. I know that several of you in here are also writers and poets. So if you'd like to share anything regarding Black History Month, just some words, um, thoughts, experiences, or even just a work, a piece of your own, or a tribute, just go ahead and we invite you to take the floor. There's no sign up, and again, we can just have conversations as well. Um,
Hi.
cool. Hey, Terry
I want
Rose.
to read. I want to read a poem by Amiri Baraka, and it's from the book SOS Poems 1961 to 2013. It's called Ballad, Air, and Fire. It's on page 527. There is music sometimes in lonely shadows, blue music, sometimes purple music, black music, red music, but there are left from crowds. Sorry, I'm back up. But these are left from crowds of people listening and singing from generation to generation. All the civilizations humans have built speed us up. We look like ants. Our whole lives lived in an inch or two. And those few seconds that we breathe in that incredible speed, blurs of sight and sound, the wind's theories. So for us to have been together, even for this moment, profound, like a leaf blown in the wind, to have been together and known you, and despite our pain, to have grasped much of what joy exists, accompanied by the ring and peal of your romantic laughter, is what it's about, really. Life, loving someone and struggling. And peace.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Terry, for sharing that. Yeah. Is there a particular reason why that piece stood out to you to share, or?
Well, I like it. I just feel like it's, summing up a lot of things, a lot of pain, summing it up, making sense out of it, trying to make sense out of it, but not going really deep, just kind of like an end piece, just not leaving us in a ditch where we can't get out of it, you know what I mean? But kind of giving us a hand up out of it.
Yeah, yeah, right on. I feel that. Murray Barak, I like a lot of his stuff. AKA Leroy Jones as well, right? He's kind of got that beatnik kind of contemporary at least of. But yeah, thanks for reading that one. Does anyone else have anything else? We have maybe about 20 minutes if we still have some time. If people still want to share anything. But Terry Rose, also, yeah, tuning in from New Jersey, it's probably a first for Papagayo, um, yeah, let's see. Anyone else? Feel free to step up to the mic, or just feel free to start speaking. We can step back and let you speak your thing. Okay. Mm,
Well, in the meantime, Richie, I just wanted to explain the link that I dropped from the diversity programs. So diversity is a division of the college that puts events together like this one. This time, Papagayo went rogue and just, we did this on our own. But typically they also host these readings and the other events. So I wanted to let you all know that they're having some other events going on for Black History Month. So November 19, you'll see in the link, they're hosting a talk with Dr. Elozi, whom I happen to know because he actually was a doctor who treated my mom. And he's a great doctor in the community. He's also, if you watch, the news, he's usually the doctor that El Paso TV stations quote when it comes to Corona. So he's a really important and influential figure in our medical community and just in our region. So it's great that the diversity programs was able to book him for November 19th. So just wanted to invite you all. It is, of course, free. It's virtual. So if y'all can make it, it's great to kind of listen to him and maybe get a little Q&A as well.
yeah, that's great to know, man. I saw that. I'm looking forward to checking it out. Some people weren't here at the beginning when I was talking about Papagayo. Do you want to talk a little bit more about what Papagayo is and what we do, and kind of a little bit of a sneak peek of what we have going on this semester?
Sure. Yeah, so I want to welcome everyone again to Papagayo. And, what we are is we're a student organization that sometimes is student-led, but us faculty like me and Richie propose and organize different workshops. We used to do it in the Rio Grande campus, but for the past 2 years, we've been on Zoom. So it's been great, having people from all over. In this case, New Jersey, the two coasts, East Coast, West Coast kind of thing going on, and have different kinds of workshops from poetry in this case to film, philosophy, music, dance, chess, the games and all kinds of stuff that we come up with, and we collaborate also with a lot of other organizations, like I mentioned, diversity programs. Next week, I wanted to also let you all know what we have coming up. So we have, there's a novel by the name of Sabrina and Karina. Sorry, it's a short story collection. And it's written by an indigenous Latinx writer. So they, myself, Richie, and Reina will be talking about it. And then the offer is going to come to NMSU. So we were trying to see if we could organize some kind of field trip safely, of course. And last I heard, that's going to take place next Friday. And it's going to be outdoors. So that's, super cool. I wouldn't want to be in a very big space with like 300 people, so it is going to be outdoors. You do have to RSVP. So if you all want to follow us online on social media, we do have a link in the link tree that we have, and you can RSVP there. So yeah, that we're really excited about that. I think it's the first time Kali is going to be at NMSU, and maybe even in the Southwest, and specifically here in the tri-state area. But yeah, I just wanted to let you all know about that next week, next Thursday and Friday. So I don't know if you had any questions about any of that.
I would say that for Papagayo, we, we're always inviting students and faculty to present, but as members of the community, if you ever have an idea for maybe a workshop, writing workshop, or something that you would like to lead, maybe reading a book, collection of stories, maybe particular collection of poems, art, anything like that, watch a movie, a discussion, anything like that, contact us, because we want to incorporate that as well. Yeah. Oh, and as Jorge says, we do have a podcast that we run. Jorge has been a co-host for what, first 3 or 4 seasons, and now we have Reina Munoz as well. We did read Sabrina and Karina with the author that we're gonna visit, Cali Fajardo Anstein. Great book. Shout out to Vanessa as well. I think next Thursday we're gonna do a Papagayo session where we talk about the stories.
Yeah, so we could talk, some of the stories, and check out the podcast if you haven't already. And they have a full slate of, they do a different book each month, and they try to align it with books that are coming out. So it's a really cool program that they have. And if you happen to be in the classroom, you could, I know Eddie, you are always a big supporter. It's great to students to kind of have it as a kind of homework for them to listen to and learn how to talk about literature. I think sometimes they just lack the language, even if and it's not too academic, it's not jargony at all. So it's really easy to pick up. One of the other books that I wanted to highlight, and if y'all can, okay, there we go. Concrete Rose is another book that was broken down into podcast. And so I just wanted to read a little passage from it. So this is written by Angie Thomas, who wrote The Hate You Give. And it was adapted into somewhat faithful adaptation on this big screen. And Doug, or The Hate You Give, is of course named after the Tupac line. And I know Poet Con, you dropped Tupac in there at the beginning. Concrete Rose also refers to the idea of a rose from concrete from Tupac. So I really recommend Angie's works. She's got another one as well, and I think it's going to be another like an HBO show or something like that. But anyway, so there's this scene where it says, the sun go down and I'm still working in the garden. You'd think once it's dark, it wouldn't be so hot. But dang, I'm sweating bullets. I catch a whiff of myself, and I know what mom mean when I say I smell like outside. I dug up plots for the roses. Mr. Wyatt got these big bags of garden soil and we poured them out. Soil got this almost sweet scent to it. It reminds me of when the sun come out after a rainy day and everything smelled fresh, like the whole world took a shower. We're taking a break now as Mr. Wyatt go to get us some water. Mrs. White came out a little while ago and she told me she getting little man ready for bed. He sipped his water and wipe his forehead with his arm. Make sure you put them gloves on before you pick up them rose bushes. Otherwise the thorns will get you. Bushes? Them things look like twigs. You only put in roses in this bed? That's the plan. Roses need space to grow. Why, you ask? He got greens, green beans, tomatoes, strawberries, blueberries, all kinds of fruits and vegetables out here. Seem like a lot of space to give something you can't eat. You might be right, he admits. I like to be reminded that beauty can come from much of nothing. To me, that's the whole point of flowers. Mr. White slipped on some gardening gloves. We're planting them well before the first frost. That'll give them time to grow some roots before they go dormant. There's a small chance they'll die. Roses, they're fascinating little things, can handle more than folks think. I've had roses in full bloom during an ice storm. They could easily survive without any help. We want them to thrive. We'll have to prune them, things like that. So it's just a very small passage that the main character here, Maverick, this is actually a sequel to The Hate You Give. Here, this is when he was a teenager growing up in Garden Heights. And he's talking to someone who becomes a kind of father figure to him, Mr. Wyatt. And I just like this scene, you know, because this is where you get this idea of the rose from concrete and caring for other things and the lessons and values that Mr. Wyatt instills in him. It is something that he ultimately instills in his own daughter, Star. And in the case of Maverick, it is a little complicated since he does end up being incarcerated. And so this kind of explains that journey that led them to have from a bad influence by the name of King. But just wanted to read this. You know, I was trying to think about what to read for today, and you know, this kind of popped up into my mind before we started. So I don't know if any of you are familiar with The Hate You Give, but I really would, you know, recommend the prequel. You know, you really get a good sense of the kind of person Maverick was and what he became.
I've never forgive me. And it's not funny, but I've never heard of Maverick. If I'm getting that wrong, but there was that's a beautiful story. I love the Black experience is the rose from concrete. You know what I mean? Like straight up, you know. So I appreciate that you brought that that whole energy to the conversation, because we stand where there's no foundation. There are rugs that are pulled from under us constantly. You know, we are the plant that doesn't need photosynthesis. You know, and I don't mean to make that glorified, because it's not. It's bloody, and it's, you know, never meeting your dad and just all this that we go through. But yeah, the rose from concrete is just so I love that depiction. So I just wanted to chime in on that. Yeah, that was great.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you know, the hate you give itself, on which it's based, is a very powerful story. You know, that will deals a lot with it. You know, I think Angie was inspired by the Black Lives Matters movement when she wrote it, because it deals with Star, who has a friend who is shot by a police officer, and you know, she has to go and make the decision of whether she's going to testify, being so young, um, and it's also complicated because his uncle is a cop, and so it's I think it's one of those books that you can definitely teach in high school, Eddie, or even like in 8th grade. You know, the language level isn't that high in it, and I think those are the kinds of conversations that we should be having in the classroom. You know, I know there's a lot of movement right now of banning books, you know, like Mouse. The Hit You Give is actually probably number 2 as far as the books that get banned right now. And so I think we as educators and poets and writers need to push back, hold events like these, and book distributions, and you know, those sorts of things that we need to fight back, because otherwise they will silence these important voices. So just wanted to say that.
Yeah, man. Well said. Absolutely.
Did anyone else want to chime in? We still have about maybe 10 minutes or so. Share your thoughts or read a piece. Go ahead.
Can we get Erica to read one more or two more?
Yeah. So it looks like Gregory wants to read something. Go ahead, and we can close out with Erica. Sounds good. So Gregory, if you want to share a piece, and then yeah, Erica, close this out. Right? You want to, right? I think you just have to unmute yourself, Greg. You cannot. Hold on. Let me try. Let me see if I can get you. All right. Do you have an option now to do that? I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe this actually happened another Monday when we had our online mic. Someone didn't have like they couldn't unmute, so they had to like rejoin the meeting. Yeah, that's so weird. I hate thing we
Yeah.
don't like about technology, right?
So Gregory, if you want to maybe log out or leave the room and then come back and maybe see if that gives you the option.
Yeah, let's see if that works. But while we do that, Erica, if you want to grace us with another piece.
Okay. Let's see. I wrote a piece dedicated to El Paso when we were back in 2020 when the quarantine had started. I remember sitting on my porch and looking out at the road, and it was empty, you know, on like a Saturday, and then like at 5, rush hour, you know, it was nobody out because we were told not to go out, you know. So this was me missing the city. This is also published. This poem I'm going to read is also published in Life in the Times, in the BorderSenses project. If I said that right. But anyway, all right. This is called Quarantine Spontaneity. I remember spontaneity. 9 p.m. phone calls discussing the plans for the nightfall. I remember the city, the lights, the cars, the stars, the star on the mountain. Do you remember the fountains? Now that was shopping. I remember enjoying shopping, bar hopping, bebopping on the microphone. I remember the stage, the joy of achieving congregated laughter. What a disaster we have become. I remember denying the opportunity of the church door, being too naked, tired, too hung over. I remember children in the playground sand, immigrants being Americans, a confidence and a constitution, a hope for retribution. I recall a melodic melody meant to maintain my sanity. I remember hope for humanity, what I would not do. That was that piece. And then
Awesome.
I know Greg's gonna come back. I could read one more, then we have Greg, then we close it out, or should I
It looks
just?
it looks like it works. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have Greg read and then you close
Okay.
it out.
Okay, sounds good.
Yo, we got Gregory Speed, aka Grown Man Speed, joining us from Cali. What up, man? It looks like it worked. So feel free to
What's
take
good,
statement.
family?
Welcome.
Con, you blazing. You blazing today.
Woo,
You on
woo, woo,
fire.
woo. Thank you, darling.
You blazing. You blazing today. Well, I could only see myself. That's funny. I'm speaking and I'm speaking to y'all, but I can see myself speaking to y'all. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, you're on the spotlight, so you can switch to grid view if you want to see everyone.
Yeah, I did. I would rather see y'all, although I like looking at myself sometimes. Um, so out throughout this whole process, I've been sitting here working on a piece and moving things around. So I'm gonna go ahead and try out this new piece. Um, and thank you for the opportunity. And we have to close out with Khan because she on fire today. Um, but let me go in. To dream. Am I dreaming? To dream while wide awake and not just during the daytime hours. We are no longer sleepwalkers or victims challenged by our race. We are the new Black superheroes, walking within our own greatness, with our light shining the brightest. Now, can you picture this place, America, being brave or great without us? My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. It is always about your hypocrisy in which we speak, and of the lack of freedoms given, the lack of respect and responsibility for atrocities, killings, and hateful acts, still striving for acceptance while struggling. We still dream whilst wide awake. The American dream often embodies cowards and thieves walking around carrying flags, representing freedoms, claiming ownership of stolen lands as the original man is castrated or hung. Those red-blooded Americans chanting angrily and being mad at those of us who've clearly seen through the smoke screens of injustice here in America. We must also know that our history isn't just Black. It's actually all encompassing and innately human. We simply needed our reciprocity for our contributions in building up America. Yes, building America from the ground up, even as it attempted to break us down, the Black woman being used as concubine and also being given the task of babysitting, breastfeeding, and raising the white children. The Black man being used for breeding, free labor, and as mindless entertainment, aka killing machines, often killing each other senselessly in a purposefully designed fight for life, simply for the bloodlust of massa. And yet, we must also be mindful of the fact that our history here in America is not always just pain, struggle, and suffering. We have to always remember this. We're also activists, builders, and friends because it is our love which paves the way. To be continued.
Yo, amazing.
Wow.
Oh,
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mhm.
grown man speed. Thank you so much, man. You're like, all right, I just wrote this. Take it. I love it. Love it. Great stuff. Show some love in the chat right now. So Khan, feel free. Gonna close this out tonight, right? Or today. Take it away.
Okay. Uh, this is called Plan B. The truth is a 100% effective birth control. You see, if we were selfless, we would not deposit into this apocalypse with offspring. No amount of spring water can purge this persistent thirst for freedom. A mother's fear of seeing her son in a hearse, a curse no hex can counteract. Instead of an American dream, we live in an American massacre. I would gladly take my ass, luggage included, somewhere love is exuberant, promptly. No hope for these brown-skinned Americans. It has never been, no, has never been America for me. As we build another Tulsa in Georgia, we have got to tighten up this infrared. The feds, the CIA, the judge, the years, the tears I pay, my life, my two sons too. Not sure what I am going to do, but I will use this piece to say we are protected in a divine way. Amen. Amen. Thank y'all. Thank you so much, Papagayo. Thank you for everybody that came. Richie, thank you, love. Thank you for thinking of me and always thinking of me. I appreciate you so much. I'm going to be hosting BWOMs on Valentine's Day. Woo woo. Y'all come check it out. Dang it. It's going to be some, yeah, it's going to be great. Anyway, thank y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Oh, amazing job, Khan. Yes, thank you, thank you. Let's keep working. Keep doing that good work. Thanks for joining us for Papagayo. You guys are always welcome to come back. Of course, we have our Monday night mics through BWOMs. Hoda, did you want any closing words before we close off in terms of Papagayo?
Just want to thank Erica again for your amazing, brilliant pieces and just, you know, sharing a space with you here at Papagayo is an honor. You're always welcome back. Thank you to everyone else who read today. You know, it was great to hear your pieces and we appreciate, you know, you being here today from wherever you are. Hope y'all can join us if you want, or you know, if you know of anyone who might be interested. at our next week Sabrina and Karina discussion, or if you want to make it out to NMSU, and if you're interested, you can follow us online, and we will be having we'll try to organize that next Thursday during Papagayo. I also want to thank Eddie as well for always bringing in your students, and I'm glad you were able to work it out today, since we did have the snow day, so it was great. Thank you all, and stay safe out there, stay warm, and if you all want to join us at other events, always welcome back at Papagayo.
Papagayo.